into it, what did you get out of it? What for you, when it comes to mastering stressful moments, do you feel that you could do, thinking about it in the context of what you heard this morning?
Yeah, well, just like you said, when you just have to step back and you're like, okay, I just need I need some time. I need to just figure out what I need to do to implement this situation and how can I better handle this versus just yelling and no, you can't do that, because obviously they're going to react of your stress, because then they're stressed, then they're freaking out like, oh my God, she's not understanding what I'm saying, and and you're both,
you're both stressed out. You're both up here, and then nobody can calm down.
Right,
no one's really learning what they need to be learning. That's helpful, right? So for you, it was that idea that you step back and really, outside of the moment, outside of doing in childcare, to sit back and say, what is my plan? What am I going to do to master the stressful moments myself, infuse calm into the situation, and really help the kids be successful and myself be successful. Yes. And it's outside of that moment. Because when you're in that moment, you flipped your lid, you've lost it.
Oh my God. And when you've got too much stuff going on, then you're just constantly like about to explode.
Yeah. So when you're doing, you said you're doing school and childcare and you have a newborn. And so you must be going crazy every day. Yes. Like you wake up crazy if you even get sleep.
Yes.
So what can you do? I mean, when you're doing so many things, what might be an answer for you?
Well, I had, like with one of yours, you just said, what are the things that you can do to, so the breathing, the making a funny gesture, like anything to just diffuse it, and just take time for yourself, because you have so much life happening, things going on, and like you just forget about what you need too.
Yeah, like we're superhuman, right?
Yeah.
I can do it all. No, we can't. And when
like
you get that wall, that's what you're talking about. You've been hitting that wall lately, feeling like, oh my gosh, feels a little out of control maybe, and that's just doing too much, right? You don't have enough resources if you don't take care of you.
Well, right, and if you're the only one at your childcare and you don't have anyone working with you, you just feel like you're like, oh my God, I don't want to act like this, and I definitely don't want them taking from this. Like, I don't want them acting crazy, and I want them to be able to implement this in their lives. And
you want them to get the skills,
right? Well,
and then they won't act out as much,
right?
And then it'll be easier for you because their stress makes you more stressed, and your stress makes them more stressed. So it's just it's a bad role to get on, isn't it?
And I have three sisters, and the one goes off to school, but they all feed off of each other. So if one's screaming and crying, then the other one's like screaming and crying, and it's every morning with them. Literally every morning. So I'm oh my God.
Hi, welcome.
I'm like, what?
I know.
So they're feeding off of each other, and then you're getting caught in the middle. How old are they?
One is 5. One is just turned 3, and one will be turning 2, and their cries are piercing.
So then when they're crying, you can just come in. I'm just videoing. She's just sharing some insights she got this morning. So I
just brought my
305. Do we start at 1:15 or 1:30?
1:30.
Do we? Oh, good. We get 20 extra. Oh, talk about stress. Oh my gosh. Well, one thing that's neat about that is that you have your 5-year-old. And one of the things in childcare is often 5-year-olds are not utilized very much because you have to take care of the younger kids that are tantruming and the things that younger kids do. So sometimes 5-year-olds start acting out just because that's what's getting attention is the acting out.
And she does too, because she started doing it in school.
Oh dear. So she's in a different school outside of your childcare.
Right. She just went to kindergarten this year.
Okay.
So she had kind of a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah.
So she got written up on the bus twice because she was jumping and screaming, and then she hit her head, so then she really started screaming. And
wow.
And then she cut her shirt up in science class.
Oh boy. Okay, I have to edit this part out because we can't.
No, that's right.
So anyway, this 5-year-old was having a lot of trouble, really stressed out, and kind of starts undermining, right? And acting like, well, what's happening with her, of course, is she's doing your place, right? And she's doing school. Whole different sets of rules and expectations and one after the other. And so she's overwhelmed too. But what's neat about 5-year-olds is you can teach them about how to calm themselves, and this idea of you get really tense, you get really upset, and then you can do things to calm your body, and then you can have her be like a superhero. Like all the other kids, like the 2-year-olds, they're gonna lose their cool, but not you, because you're 5. You're big. So read books about staying calm and and practice staying calm and see if she can't be the superhero and show the other kids how to be calm even when she's stressed. And then I'll share that. I'm going to share that video, the hand model of the brain for kids. 5 years old, you can totally show her that video. Maybe the first bit, talk about that, and then the second bit, you can decide how it makes best to teach her. But she can be like your super emotion girl who's able to keep it cool even when it gets tense, And then she'll start feeling so valued and so important that she will have this extra kind of buy-in to why she should have control. And then her younger siblings will start feeding off of that.
Yeah, because I'm hoping.
Yeah. They will. You can do it. It takes time. It does take time.
So usually the middle daughter, she would come in every morning and literally have a meltdown, and that meltdown would last like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was.
So when you said have a room dedicated for them to just go and relax, the one thing that I noticed with her that did work, and we've been doing with her, so she doesn't have those meltdowns anymore. Now it's the other sister that's doing it. So it's like going down. So I'm trying to work with her because she's, she's just turning 2 in November, and so she's kind of, trying to figure it all out. So breathing with the 3-year-old and just telling her what's wrong. What
it's really hard when you flip your lid. Sometimes you don't even know what's wrong. I mean,
Right.
as adults, you're just like, I don't know. I've just had enough. It's like so. Try and find questions like, what do you need to calm? Oh, your body's so intense. Your body's so. What can we do? Well, how can I help? Or that stuffed animal idea.
That's a really good idea.
Because it's like, what is wrong? Or why did you do that? Right. Kids are like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So
and I would come back and I'd say, okay, are you ready to talk to me now? Like, do you want to talk
she was
about
calm.
it? And she'd go, yeah, I do.
And then, so she has a lot of trust with you.
Yeah. So when we're not open and it's like a holiday or something, they come back and be like, we really missed you.
Oh, so you're making a difference. That's the thing.
So it was really beneficial, like to just take these steps. Like even when you said like make a funny gesture just to make them laugh or just something to diffuse.
So it diffuses our stress a little bit. Everybody's stress is like,
yes. And even with that, even with that breathing where you're like 4, 3, 2, 1, like that one, I think would really work with them too. Just
good. Okay, so those hands. So what you really liked out of the presentation was those hands-on tools in the moment of what can I do to just decrease stress. Well, thanks for sharing it. I know I'm new to videotaping these, but this is going to help me think about what was valuable for you. So when I'm making my programming, I can make sure it's tailored to the people who are coming to these, because I want you to walk out of every session like, I got something out of this. And this was important for me in my work, because now you're going to feel better about your work, and you're going to have a response that you can be really proud of. Not that you already did, but when your stress gets so big, then it's hard to do that. Now you have some tools and ideas to help bring it back down. I hope it works well for you.
I know.
One step at a time. And then at the end of the day, I really encourage you to make yourself a note. What did you do well? Where were you able to keep it down? Because, like, let's say 5 times out of 5 you would go, wah! And today it was 4 out of 5. One time when you felt like you wanted to yell, or maybe you don't yell a lot, but that's my example because I yell.
Yeah, I do.
But maybe like you felt inside like you wanted to yell at the kids, but you didn't. You walked away. You made a silly gesture, and you take a deep breath. Then at the end of the day, you go, "I did it. I did it."
No.
And it was once. And then because you're excited about that, you're growing that, you're making a plan for that, how that worked, and acknowledging that. Then you're going to do better, and you're going to feel more in control. And then you'll do better because you'll feel more in control. So I'm so glad that you're thinking about things that you can do to help, because you're in a stressful situation.
Oh yeah.
Any of us would fall apart.
Oh my gosh.
And then I would encourage you, of course, to think about what you can pull back on right now, because you have a new little baby. And that takes everybody's heart, soul, and mind. And you have all this other stuff too. So what can you do to take care of you? And know that you can only accomplish so much. You can't do everything well at once.
I know.
So
we as moms, we think we can do it all.
We're superhuman, right?
Yes.
That's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, you give 110%? No, you don't. Because once you hit 100, you die.
That's right.
So just realize that. Like, I only have so much I can give. And let go of what you can, and then put your heart into what you can.
That's right.
Well,
and the fact that you're like super engaged, like in the key, like, I mean, I've been to things where people they just stand up there and talk, and you're just like, oh my God, you want me to stay awake for 3 hours for this?
No.
Like that, we got up, we did stuff, we moved around, and like we as adults actually learned, like, okay, I'm stressed, I can do the same thing they're doing. Like I can jump around and act silly and just distress myself. As long as it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, I'm good.
So you felt like the presentation was active and
Yes,
kept you engaged?
yes,
Good,
yes.
good. I thank you.